Hello everyone, my name is Jess. We're going to talk about end game breeding. Okay, we're going to try and do this nice and fast. Okay, we're going to follow the 4-step process. Technically it's 5/6 step process, but the other parts are kind of plain, you know, common sense. It's PAL souls and then IV fruits. Okay, so number 1 will be passives, components, and placeholder. This all is included in like the whole first step. So when it comes to passives, you will always be focusing on components, because components is what makes up the ideal for passives. When it comes to the ideal for passives, you have the mommy that has passives that are components of the ideal for passives, which will, in this scenario, will be ideal for passive will be a VLS demon. And right here you can see mommy and daddy both possess passives that add up to the VLS demon. This is VD, daddy has SL. Together they form VLSD, VLS demon. Okay, so once you get your hands on like a PAL that has your ideal for passives, let's say you wanted a V, or let's say you wanted a LSMD, which is a Legend Serenity Demon God Musclehead. Go for it. As long as you're able to get to that end result, you made it. You completed the first step. Okay, here is my first step completed. VLSD Anubis. I want to get Meteor Rain onto this Anubis so that it looks something like this guy. Not really the passive. The passive is a little bit different, but the end result will be this guy right here, a VLS Demon Meteor Rain. So in order to do that, I have to go to the second step. Second step is ability. I need to get myself Meteor Rain. How do I do that? Well, first step will be to source it from the parent. You need to find out where it came from. So you're going to go to this website, paldb.cc. You go up to the top, skills to active skills. You're going to control F, type in Meteor Rain. Okay, 3 things on this page. You have the ability icon, strictly meaning that it is breedable, okay? Because the other 2 icons is a fruit. Skill fruit means that you can add a fruit to a PAL and they will then learn that ability just from you giving them a fruit. Okay, the lock icon means that it is unlearnable from any other PAL except the PAL that it's given to. So locked means that it's an exclusive skill, right? So when it has none of the 2 icons and just the ability, it is a breedable ability. So now you're going to click on Meteor Rain. Now, understanding this means that all Jet Dragons possess the ability Meteor Rain, but it's learned at level 60. The alpha variant is caught out in the wild. So you need to go capture that Jet Dragon out in the wild. Now the blue boss icons just mean that they're from braids. Okay. Now, once you have access to your Jet Dragon, right here, you breed it with itself. Okay, like here, right here where it says breed it with itself to get the ability, okay, ability on a level 1 PAL. Here is my Jet Dragon. I breeded the Jet Dragons with itself so I can obtain a Jet Dragon. Now, it's also important that you keep in mind about these passives. Okay, make sure that these passives that are from any of these PALs that you're going to be breeding onto a baby will possess components of your ideal for passive scenario, because you're going to be breeding it at the end with the PAL identical to the initial baby. Okay, so now once you have the PAL Jet Dragon with Meteor Rain, okay, or let's say you wanted a Thunder Rail, you breed it with Azumane. Okay, this is for placeholder purposes. Placeholder purposes. Don't be saying, oh, you can breed blank with blank to get your Anubis. Yeah, no, okay. The reason why I'm focusing on this is because placeholders are extremely important to opening up many doors for opportunities on breeding scenarios. Okay, now that I've covered that whole portion, you want to breed it with another PAL or PALs when it comes to a chain to get the PAL identical. Okay, identical. Oops. Identical to the initial baby. Okay, let's just do that. Get out of here. Okay, so in order to get myself an Anubis that has Meteor Rain, I need to find out what breeds with a Jet Dragon to get myself a Meteor Rain, to get myself an Anubis. So I access the breeding tree, palbreed.com, and if we click on Anubis, we type in Jet Dragon. And there are so many options here. There are, I believe, 6 options for a Jetragon plus a Dire Howl, Jetragon plus Goriot, Veilet, B-Guard will give me, or a Turntuckle will give me an Anubis. But when it comes to this specific scenario, I want to make placeholders because I want to open up future doors for me to breed any other future pal. And the reason why I say that is because look here, if you are trying to get yourself a Yormantide Ignis, you need a Yormantide. Let's say you want to get yourself a Yormantide Ignis with Meteor Rain. What happened to my Meteor Rain? Here it is. Okay? You need to get yourself a Yormantide. This is my Yormantide. It has Meteor Rain. It has components of the end game product. Okay? So, you breed it with another pal to get the pal identical to the initial baby. Well, I'm breeding Jetragon with an Alphidrian to get myself a Yormantide. Yormantide plus a Noclum to get myself a Relaxosaurus. Relaxosaurus plus a Grizzbolt to get myself a Orzhov. Orzhov plus a Verdash to get myself the Meteor Rain Anubis. Okay, each of the placeholders getting to the steps, or each of the steps towards the final raid boss product will have Meteor Rain for future breeding purposes. Okay. Let's say I wanted to get a Meteor Rain Astegon. Okay, here's another example. A Meteor Rain Astegon. Well, Orzhov learned it, right? My Orzhov learned it. And my Orzhov learned it from a Grizzbolt Relaxosaurus. My Relaxosaurus learned it from a Yormantide that had Noclum. My Yormantide learned it from the Jetragon that has Meteor Rain. Do you see this? They're used for future breeding purposes. You do not want to spend your time doing the same thing over and over. That is ridiculous and in pure insanity. I don't think anyone wants to waste their time doing that. So that's why it's important to keep them as placeholders. If you look in my storage, I have so many pals as placeholders. Look at my Anubis real quick. Lots of these Anubis have special abilities like double Blizzard Spike. That's a placeholder with Siren of the Void Legend, right? It's a placeholder for a, let's say, a VLS Siren with double Blizzard Spike, right? Which is then used for a Bastigor, blah blah blah. You see, lots of it is just placeholders upon placeholders, saving yourself so much time and headache. You see this Meteor Rain Diamond VLS? This is a tanky 50% defense PAL placeholder that has Meteor Rain. This can be used for future pals if I want to, that has Meteor Rain with tankiness to it. A Meteor Rain Noclum, right? Meteor Rain Noclum is actually pretty meta nowadays because of how tanky the partner's skill can get them. A Wind Edge Anubis. Believe it or not, Anubis plus a Flambelly gets you a Verdash. Getting a Verdash with Wind Edge does a lot of damage. These guys pack a fat punch, right? And here's my placeholder. I can breed a Verdash plus another Verdash that has either Serenity, Vamp, Legend, Demon God, or any of the 4, or a Naked Pal, a Naked Verdash with itself to get myself a bunch of Raid Pal Verdashes. Look at this, right? It's saving yourself time, headache, and maxing out your efficiency, okay? So now that you have a pal identical to the initial baby, you now have a pal that has the passives and ability. Now it functions as a placeholder. The baby with VLS and the ability. The baby level 1 with VLSD and the ability. Boom, your placeholder is done. Now comes number 4. Your Raid Pal army. You breed your newly formed baby with another pal that looks like him. Okay, so literally just the same exact pal that you breeded initially with itself to print off more babies that have Meteor Rain and the passives. And then eventually you have a Meteor Rain Anubis army. Meteor Rain blank pal army. Ability that you breeded, blank pal army. Okay, look at this my Tundras. These are my Masanda Luxes. Look at what they have. They have Elvis. ELVS plus Thunderrail. Thunderrail is a broken ability that is from Azurmane specifically. Breeded from Azurmane, breeded down from a bunch of pals that I use as placeholders to then breed into this guy. Okay? Now if we look what floor am I on? if we look over here, these both have Thunder Rail, breeded from an Azurmane into an Orzhirk. Okay, if we look at my Orzhirks right now, I have plenty of Orzhirks here that are placeholders. Thunder Rail, VLS. Here's my Meteorane Diamond Body, right? We remember what I was talking about in Anubis. Another one, okay, Thunder Rail Eternal Flame. This is perfect for if I want to go Eternal Flame Flame Emperor, and believe it or not, I did with this guy, Eternal Flame Flame Emperor. Do you see this? Do I see this? Do you see this? Because I see this, right? And you can even get what is this thing called? Meteorane on a Hell Zephyr, Geyser Gush on a Hell Zephyr, any sort of ability on a Hell Zephyr, and you know why? We're going into it again. If you wanted the legendary Frostallion Noct, the dark legendary Frostallion Noct, you see this? Hell Zephyr breeds with a Frostallion, the legendary ice, to get yourself a Frostallion Noct. Frostallion Noct can possess any of the breedable abilities, and he has a really high attack, okay? Like default high attack. So lots of players actually end up using a lot of Frostallion Nocts. I personally am not a fan of Frostallion Noct just because of his design and whatnot. So you get what I mean. Now you see here, this is a Finn Snyder Ignis with Thunder Rail. Azurmane's ability. Breedable ability. And I went double LVS. This is a specified water build. Was this sustainability and cooldown reduction. You see how beautiful this is? Having access to these placeholders. Okay, it takes a long time. It does take a long time. You're not wrong. It's brutal. It's annoying. But look at this. Remember what I was talking about? That Yeomentide Ignis with 70% defense? I don't know if I still have him at this page. Yeah, here he is. I breeded him from that exact Blaze Howl. 70% defense. This guy is a fat tank, and I pair him. I give him low cooldown abilities. Well, yeah, here it is. Dragon Cannon and Ig Blast. So he does a lot of damage. He is innately dragon and fire. So he is innately a dragon, but he can use fire abilities, and he's also fire type. So that just means that by default he'll be using dragon cannons, but he'll be able to use dragon cannon, then dragon cannon, then it's on cooldown. Dragon cannon, then dragon cannon, then it's on cooldown, sort of thing. Now he doesn't have Serenity, so that's why it's important that I slotted in the ability, the default ability. Okay, so he can cast it kind of twice within its own cooldown interval. It's a little bit of inside theory thinking. But yeah, so this is just technically just the advanced part. Now I'm gonna get into steps 5 and 6. Okay, 5. Oops, oh crap. 5 is the PAL souls, right? And then 6 is the IV stats. So when it comes to PAL souls, you need to have access to this PAL 4-star Nightmare. Okay, it is a Nightmare by default. When it comes to the 4-star Nightmares, they drop more PAL souls. So this goes for giant souls, large souls, medium souls, small souls, okay? Any sort of PAL that drops these souls are amplified by the amount of stars your Nightmare has. And for this specific scenario, this was before Vampiric came out. I think. I don't remember actually. So this PAL is strictly used for farming giant PAL souls, and I have a video somewhere on my channel that says you can get 432 PAL souls, and it's true, every 7 minutes. Okay, you can get a lot. It just takes a bit of time because you gotta like force spawn the predator PALs, and you can only get the certain PALs from certain PALs. Understand? Good. So that is number 5. Number 6 is the IVs. So do you see these numbers up here? They are unlocked, I think, at 34 or 47 or something like that, and they are called these ability glasses. They help you see the HP, attack, defense stats on a PAL by a scale of 0 to 100. Okay, 100 means that they have the highest attack that the PAL can have at that given level. So that's very important when it comes to breeding. When it comes to breeding, you see how these guys are level 1? Do you see how the levels change? They're both the same exact passive, but this PAL is 141 at max IVs. This pal is 1-5. Why the heck is he 154? Oh, he has ferocious. Wrong one. Yeah, not you. Get out of here. Okay, is this fine? This is fine. So this pal is 141 at level 1. This pal is 140 at level 1. You see, it's a small change, but it's min-maxing, and it looks nice. Okay, you want the highest potential for your raid pal. I do too. So anyways, that's just about it for the video. IV fruits are obtained through the raids or through not bounty tickets. These stupid battle tickets. It might be from bounty tickets. I don't know. But I personally just go out and farm my IV fruits from Moon Sigils, the Moon Lord, or Ryu Ultra. Basic Xenolod. I cannot farm Xenolod Ultra. I'm sorry. It's just too laggy, and I have to put at least 15 pals in there with Holy Burst, and it just fries my computer. So I normally just farm Ryu Ultra because it automatically gives you 2 fruits. My bad. It's a little faster than Moon. No, Moonlord is a little faster, but Ryu Ultra is a little more fun. Moonlord right here gives you 3, but most of the time it gives you HP and defense, barely any powers. So Ryu Ultra seems to give me more powers when I complete it. So anyways, yeah, that's just about it for the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. My name is Jess. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Please do like, comment, subscribe. I'm not begging. I would just greatly appreciate it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any tidbits, feedback, tips, whatever for the comments, for the other players, future players, viewers, and whatnot, leave it down below. I read everything. I respond to pretty much everything, unless it's like a flame. Then I'm gonna make a video on it, like that one video where I had to make that shorter version of the that faction base thing, which I will say it was pretty beneficial to me. It just kind of pissed me off a little, you know, comparing me to some other person who literally wasted everyone's time. So anyways, yeah, that's just about it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Jess. I said that already. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.